I asked Kyle Shanahan a question yesterday in his press conference. I was the only one who actually addressed Trey Lance's interception. Trey Lance threw an interception in practice. He should have thrown two. One was dropped. One of the main things going for him is that he didn't commit turnovers in college. So I asked Kyle, I said, first interception was high. Second one was high. When he misses, he tends to miss high. Are you seeing anything mechanically? Are you seeing any mechanical issues there?
Okay, could I say something?
Mm-hmm.
He gives you an answer. Can you read the answer to us?
I certainly can read the answer to us.
Read it slow, because I would like to talk about his answer.
All right, hold on.
I mean, this is phenomenal that you can do this. I don't know how you do it.
All right, let me read it, and then I'll read you what I said and then what he said. So I said Trey Lance threw an interception on a pass in 7-on-7 that was a little high. Then he had another pass that was almost picked that was a little high. I know it was not a concern in May, but when he does miss high, what do you see from him mechanically? And he says, nothing. I'm watching where the ball's going. We don't judge a guy's mechanics every time he throws. That would drive a guy crazy. We just try to coach him and get the ball to the right spot. Usually it has to do with where your feet are. Are your feet under you, and throwing it on time? So that's just stuff you want them to work through and get better at. But there's no secret to, hey, if you do this, it won't be so high. We'll let you write about that, but that's not how I coach them.
Okay. You want my response then?
Mm-hmm.
What leaps out to me is at the very end, he says, we'll let you write about that.
Right.
That's a very interesting statement. First of all, no coach lets a journalist write anything.
Right.
My editor and I talk about what I want. We have editorial conferences, and Kyle is not in those editorial conferences.
No.
Because here's the deal. I write whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. I'm my own.
I write whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
You're not allowing me to do anything.
That's right.
I'm doing my job, and you worry about your job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So right away, I don't like that attitude that somehow you're there under his kindness, or
right?
Your sufferance. That Matty Mayoko is there under his kindness, or Eric Branch is there, or Matty Barrows are there under his kindness, and he's
people who've been there like decades longer than him, and will be here decades.
After he's gone, because every coach gets fired.
Yeah,
they'll be there after he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. If anything, we're indulging him. He's not indulging us, if anything. So right away, I don't like that. Then the pièce de résistance, where I want my brains to fly out my ears. We don't worry about mechanics.
He also said, there's really not much I can do. We try to get their feet in the right position. You try to get their feet in the right position. That's what you said. Hold on, Kyle. Hold on. You're an offensive genius, okay? You have a quarterback coach who is paid a healthy sum of money, Rich Gangarello, to be an expert on the biomechanics of throwing. He's like a caddy in golf. Hey man, your backswing's a little off. You're off a little here. That's what he's supposed to be. Your release. You guys, your feet. What the hell are you talking about? When he goes to Tom House isn't going to be like, yeah, there's not really much we can do. I mean, I'll work with your feet a little bit. Like, no, Tom House is going to do like 3D diagrams of him on a computer and find out where he's losing energy and how to optimize his throwing motion. It's going to be very scientific. He's done it for tons of professional athletes, Hall of Famers. So what I'm learning is that, okay, Trey Lance is a guy that everyone knew needed work on mechanics. He went to a team with good play design, good weapons, but not one coach who knows the first things about the biomechanics of throwing. That's a problem. He's going to need to spend a lot of time away from the facility learning from real experts in this field, because the Niners don't have one.
And the point is, Iggy, it is a field of study. It's an established field of study with texts, with theories. And Kyle was saying, I don't know nothing about it.
Move their feet around. I just try to make sure that they're throwing to the right spots, dude.
So he says, Iggy, I'm looking at where the ball goes. I'm not looking at how he throws it. Bill Walsh would have been looking like, how do you throw it? Then the ball will get there.
Yeah, he's looking at the end result, not the process. You know why? Because he has no clue what the process is. He was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I don't know who this quarterback. I mean, Rich Scangarello, he's been around. Who the hell is Rich Scangarello? No offense, Rich Scangarello, but come on, man. This kid needs to go to Tom House. He needs to spend as much time away from the facility working on his mechanics as possible. And some people say you want to throw this kid in the fire so he can learn. Look, Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench for 3 years. When he was at Cal, he held the ball in his ear. You remember that?
He did.
And by the time he was playing it at Green Bay, it was much more relaxed. You absolutely can rebuild your throwing motion on the bench. And that's probably the best place to do it, because when you're on the field, you're going to revert to what you've been doing your whole life.
So I'm talking to you now, Kyle. Out of the kindness of your heart, I'm retired, but if I was still working, you'd let me write and say certain things. So this is what you're going to let me say today. I don't think you know about coaching, throwing, passing. I think you need to learn about it so that you can send your kid to the right person, because you're not the man. You can design good plays, but for you to say you watch where the ball goes and you're not worried that much about the mechanics of it is backwards. I would have to say it's ignorant. And I would have to say you need to do some soul searching, and you need to get your number 3 pick in the draft, right?
The most important thing for Trey Lance is throwing mechanics from the pocket.
Yeah.
If he had Bill Walsh, it would have been the perfect coach for him. But he has Kyle Shanahan, who already says there's not much I can really do. Good, Kyle. Then you should have drafted Mac Jones. You know, because everyone knew this. Exactly. Dad, he might be. What do you want me to say? It's why I didn't want him. That's why I wanted Mac Jones.
Yeah, because I don't know how to teach him. I don't know how to teach him. So I needed to have somebody come in as a finished product. Kyle, this is not very impressive.
No.
I hope you'll let me say this. It's not very impressive.
Yeah, you got to get your permission slip, Dad. Mark Salas says, when Kyle dismissed your reference to feet technique, he showed weakness. You got under his skin. Walsh always worked with his quarterbacks on footwork. No, Walsh just looked at where the ball was going. Mark, you're wrong.
And you know, Iggy, it was a swipe at you too.
Yeah. He's right? Like, oh yeah, you think you know everything. You have all the answers. Well, at least I try. You've already given up.
Iggy, you don't have the answer, but you have the question.
I have the question. I do.
He doesn't even have the question.
He doesn't have the question. Hey, man. Hey, he'll figure it out or he won't. I don't know what to tell you. I work with his feet. Hey, good job, man.
Hey, look, as long as the ball got over there.
Because the way I look at it is, it's not an issue of his feet. He's overthrowing. These grunt throws. He doesn't need to be putting everything he has into these throws, these 15-yard throws over the middle. He needs to take a little off. That has nothing to do with his feet. Let's see.
And I want to say something else, Iggy.
Yeah.
You see, I'm more concerned with, I guess today for me, what the theme of this broadcast is today is the attitude of the general manager and the coach, is the feeling they're giving. And I feel that John Lynch did the right thing late. But John Lynch, he may not be there on time, but he's going to get there.
Yeah.
I like John Lynch.
Yeah.
I don't have that confidence in Shanahan.
No.
I think Shanahan is essentially saying, who are you to question me?
Yeah.
I know everything. I feel that even though he has a low-key demeanor, he's very arrogant.
You think? You just got that? He's the most arrogant coach I've ever covered. And I've covered Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback in the NFL. Jim Harbaugh won 3/4 of the games that he coached here. And Kyle is way more arrogant than Jim Harbaugh was.
And Harbaugh was arrogant.
Oh, yeah. He had an athlete's ego. He was a first-round pick. He played at Michigan. Yeah. And Kyle Shanahan's on a different, he invented football.
He's even more than Harbaugh.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. And he can be cool sometimes, but deep down, it's the most arrogant coach I've ever coached. Ever.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Sometimes arrogance is good.
Yes.
It means that you have tremendous confidence.
Yes.
Sometimes it's very good.
Yes.
But if it interferes with your growth and with your and being self-reflective, it's not good.
Right. Gold-blooded said Kyle's response to mechanics shows why Jimmy hasn't progressed. When Jimmy is on another team, he's going to make Kyle eat crow.
I like it. Jimmy has regressed because he hasn't been taught.
The coach says Grant tried to bite off more than he can chew with his granular approach. You constantly insult Kyle. He also smirked at you when he blew you off.
You know, maybe he shouldn't smirk. Maybe he needs to take back the smirk, and he needs a little more humility. And I want to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been smirked at a lot more than Iggy has in my life and as a sports writer. And you know what I felt about it? I may know more than you. I may not know the answer, but again, I know the question.
Yeah.
And I can see maybe where you need to think about things.
Yeah.
So smirking, fine with me. I'll smirk back at you. And I'll get the last word.
Damn right.